Welcome to the shit show.
Tom Spooky in here today in the All Elite Wrap-Up studios. We've got Tim and Tom. We're Tim and Tom Spooky. It is our Halloween edition. They had Fright Night Dynamite. We were off last week. Let's address that because Liverpool chat in the chat. See how that works out. Says, hey guys, glad to have you back. And that's because we missed last week, right? Which is, I would say it was a little bit unexpected. Came last minute. We had some personal things gather up. I think Tom had the shits or something like that. I don't really remember.
My dishwasher broke. I had to buy a new dishwasher because everything was overflowing, and I had to clean that all, and so it was coming down. So I had to go get a new dishwasher. Which, by the way, Liverpool chat, Steven Gerrard, huh? I know some Liverpool players, midfielder, longtime captain of Liverpool. You know what I'm saying? I remember FIFA 09. Boy, I tell you what, you want to get me on one game
FIFA
to one game to dude, I swear to God, you want one game for me to like save my life, I'm playing that game. I got the golden boot. You know what the golden boot is? The golden boot is I beat someone online who either created the game or beat a creator of the game.
Tom,
I've
known you for significant portion of my life at this point. And I've always known you to do nothing but dramatically shit on the sport of soccer. And
it's
yet
not
here
fun.
You are.
It's a fun game to play. It is a very fun game to play. Steven Gerrard, I think Ian Rush. I think there's another Ian Rush guy. Yeah. Here's the thing about soccer. No. I like soccer. There's two things I hate about it. Offsides is not a thing. You can't reward slow defense. I hate it. I will always hate it. I don't. If I run faster than you, fuck you. Catch up. I'm supposed
here's
to
the thing. Like, I know they think like, oh, well, it'll lead to runaway scoring.
No,
like, probably not that much, guys. Like, I think you're overplaying how much that'll actually happen.
And also, no, because then that would also happen in basketball.
Exactly. Well, and soccer. You guys could stand to have a little more scoring, right?
Indoor soccer.
There's a little more runaway scoring. You know what I mean?
Indoor soccer is pretty fun. I do like indoor soccer a lot. Mm-hmm. Yes, I know it's the soccer version of pass interference, but it's also I got to slow up because you're not as fast as me. I gotta like stand here and wait for you to start running so I can run too. Because here's also the I don't like offsides in hockey either. I think that's also dumb. But yeah, anyhow, Liverpool used to be my team in FIFA 09. And so I wanted to shout out Liverpool chat.
Look at you.
Yeah. I was
so you could have had no clue. Like the people you named could have been like long disgraced and you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You would have been like, oh yeah, I love that guy. And they would have been like, really? He like murdered
right.
If family. And you'll be like, oh yeah,
if Steven Gerrard Crispin Wad himself, I don't know about it. But I remember I liked him.
But boy, oh boy, did I love running the sticks.
Yeah, so that's all I'm saying. And I would watch a little bit. There was my roommates in college were massive soccer fans. And that was always fun to live with them because I would just be like, this is fucking dumb. And they didn't like football. And I was like, are you fucking serious? And so it was a fun little thing.
Why did he tackle that guy?
Yeah. Fucking hit him.
Well, look, we're going to talk about a lot of things, soccer being one of them, right? Well, a lot of other things will come up tonight, and we want you to get in on that conversation like Liverpool chat has. Talk to us in the chat as we talk about AEW Dynamite. We're also maybe sprinkling some things about WrestleDream because we weren't here last week. And man, we were there live. It was a blast. One of the best parts of it for me was when we knew when the pinfall went to 3, I forget even what match it was, but we knew that Tom could not win the picks game. And thereby, on the next episode, which is conveniently now for you, you're going to see him in his everyday costume of a Jeff Jarrett fan. Tom.
Yeah, you want to see the scariest costume of the year? Right here.
Whoa. It is even kind of Halloween themed. Look at that.
Yes. Yeah.
Now hold that back up for a second. And I want to say, we've talked about like how it kind of looks like he took a Welcome to Wyoming shirt and just replaced the wolf with himself. But is that intended to be a pile of cocaine and not mountains? I ask you that.
Here's the thing. Opinion of Jeff Jarrett might change if that's a pile of cocaine and not mountains. You know?
Jeff,
Hey,
I know you're watching.
How are you, friend?
Speaking of, also in the chat, we've got some comments recently on the YouTube, and it was found out, Tom, that we were a little bit wrong. It was Jason from Iowa. Jason from Iowa. He said, close. His brother's name is Josh. And I said, that's awesome.
Yes.
Tell Josh to fucking listen to it.
Yeah, tell Josh to hang out too. Jason from Iowa.
Jason from Iowa.
By the way, we'll get into Dynamite, but speaking of WrestleDream, because I have to wear this shirt, it was also great to see a couple people that we saw at Dynamite in Kansas City at WrestleDream in St. Louis. Yeah. So that was really fun too.
Yeah, I love just in back of us I hear, hey, Yuta sucks. And we're like, yes, yeah. Yeah, he does.
Yeah. Oh, man. And I got him. You sent me a clip of me yelling during one of the pre-matches at Yuta because he's fucking trash. Yeah, that was fun.
He's not even in the ring. He's on the side, not even reaching out to be tagged. And you're just, Yuta! It was the best.
Yep.
Loved it.
Yeah.
That's why you go to wrestling. We talked about this. I don't know why you're going to the wrestling show if you're not going to do what we're doing, right? Part of this is part of a wrestling thing is it's kind of like Shakespearean where the crowd's part of the ensemble, right? They need chants, they need stuff. So like you got to give the heel some shit. I'm not saying go too far and say rude things, but razz them, heckle them.
But I would say bare minimum is you should boo the bad guys or girls, right?
Yeah.
I understand. If you don't want to be like me yelling, Yuta, you look like you like the taste of stamps.
Yeah.
You don't have to do that. But boo, like you should at least do that part. You know what I mean?
Looks like he sucks on chili dogs outside the Tasty Freeze.
Yes, exactly.
I love that.
Yuta eats Kit Kat sideways. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was the one you did yell at him? You said you use both hands, or you said you brush your teeth with both hands.
Yeah. And then the one in St. Louis I got the one in St. Louis that I got the most laughs on that I clocked was Yuta, you look like you moan when you wipe. A lot of people like that one.
Yeah, I don't think I got the most laughs, but I did get the most approving look back from the guy in front of us when I told Yuta he looks like he's like, what did I say? I said, Yuta smells like his clothes didn't dry all the way. He looked back and was like, yeah. And I was like, all right, man, we're friends now. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
So yeah, you don't have to have a bunch of heckles, but like we did get a few people looking back and was like, and I'm like, what are you here for, man? This is what this is. This is like to get let loose and to let go, man.
And also we were doing it at times when like no one was talking, because I could also understand that too, right? If hypothetically John Moxley is cutting the promo and I'm just like, yeah, like, okay, that's obnoxious, but
right,
it was during the wrestling. Come on, like, what are we doing here? Yeah, those two people.
That's where we think it's best. It's like when it's a down and a lull time and everybody's kind of like sitting on their hands. They'll be like, Yuta sucks. Be like, he's already left the building.
He does. No one's denying it. No one's denying it. All right, let's talk about last night's AEW Dynamite. Like we said, we'll throw in some WrestleDream, some recaps of our own from what we saw from the pay-per-view and last night. And it kicked off last night in Edinburgh.
No, exactly where that is.
Where's Edin? Berg? Edinburgh?
Texas.
Edinburgh? Shut up. Yeah, who cares? They got guns. Where is it? The gun arena, probably? I don't know.
No, it was like the Bob Jones arena or something. I forget what it was.
Yeah,
it was the Great Walt, huh?
Yeah. The incest into it. You know what I mean?
It was the governor in a wheelchair taking away disability rights.
Yeah.
Arena.
You guys can't get ramps as he's fucking just going down his stupid fucking jackass. Texas is a cult. But Samoa Joe was going to be in the main event in a four-way match that I was very excited about. But before we could get there, we had to start it off with a trick or treat tornado tag team match. It was the heartbeat of AEW, Darby Allin, and I would honestly say the most unique character in AEW's history, Orange Cassidy, taking on, man, we like him, but still hasn't hit Daniel Garcia, and the absolute fucking worst thing to be on television this month, Wheeler Yuta. Your comments.
So I'll say this. this is the most in place I've felt Daniel Garcia has been.
Mm-hmm,
right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But he still is just kind of there in the background. At best, we might get a good tag team run out of him and Yuta. You know? And
wouldn't hate that. You know what I mean? They're kind of
hate that.
dragging right now, so wouldn't hate.
I agree. Yeah, I think at least that would be something with the two of them. And we'd get more chance to yell, Yuta sucks. Not that we need Yuta to be there to remind everyone.
We'll just,
but this was, the Halloween themed trick or treat, but it was just a match, right? Like, I get it. What are you going to do, right? But I guess they did have some candy at the end.
Yeah. Well, so we get the match, right? And we're getting all the fun stuff. And then, as mentioned, we get the good guys winning. Orange Cassidy's happy, which remember this, and he's throwing treats to the crowd. Yay, right? Yuta, Garcia, they lost. And we move on. Great opening segment. Again, I think when you kick off signature shows like Trick or Treat in this case, having your linchpins, your pillars, as you could say, Darby Allin, Orange Cassidy kicking off the show, that's a great start. Then
well,
we
Darby
go backstage.
Allin's in Halloween mode every week.
All
so
year.
You got to kick off with him.
Which, by the way, did you watch the AEW with Darby Allin?
No, well, was that
RJ
like recently,
City?
anyone?
Yeah, it was this week. Yeah. RJ City, boy, he took a ass whooping. Man, yeah, you should see it. Yeah, he got whipped and kicked in the nuts, everything. It was not good for him.
He's a character.
He's awesome. I love him.
He's awesome. Yeah.
I think I'd get starstruck by him. I really do. I'm like, dude, I like you so much.
I know. Be like, listen, I want to talk to you so much.
Yeah, just tell me about this.
Interview?
Yeah. All right, so after
now, let's switch it up.
Yeah, let's give you. I did some research. Yeah,
RJ City, if you're watching, well, hey, you know, if you're secretly Liverpool chat, just say so.
Just say it. We had Taz on here for a while, but I understand he's recovering from surgery, so he'll be back. But Darby Allin, Orange Cassidy, they win. Like I said, Orange Cassidy very happy, throwing out candy in the crowd. Then we go backstage, and we see Hook in his D12 shirt. Such a contemporary fucking group that was.
References, yeah. Talk about a two-hit wonder. You know what I mean?
Well, here's the thing about D12. Other than Eminem, name them.
Bizarre.
Jesus, that's one more than I could.
Bizarre.
Yeah.
Proof.
Proof? Sure.
Man, I think I got half of them here. No, I don't know.
But that's what I'm saying. Like D12.
Help us out in the chat.
Purple pills, I get it, all that fun stuff. But kind of mid. Did it wrong.
Oh, yeah. I mean, exactly. That's no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Eminem should have came out with Slaughterhouse. When he had Slaughterhouse, that was a group. I tell you what, with Joe Button and Joel Ortiz. Anyhow, but Hook is talking
Eminem,
his shit.
Proof.
Yep.
Bizarre, Swifty McVeigh, Fuzz Scooter.
Okay, now we're just making names up. Yeah.
Is this AI? I don't believe this.
Oh, Frankie Farts was in there. Okay, yeah, Frankie Farts.
Speaking of, here was the 7th member of D12, the Rebel Trucker is in the chat.
Hey,
it says, hello, ladies. Kaniva, that's it. Kaniva was one of them. Liverpool chat, or not RJ City.
Yeah.
And with the surprise, not RJ City knows the members of D12.
Yeah. But Hook is coming out with his D12 shirt on, and he's talking about hold on. Actually, I wrote my notes down, but I wanted to, we're not going to fact check it. We can't air it now because of copyright and all that stuff. I think, though, if you go back and watch this Hook promo, I played it back twice. I think he says, hi. I think the first thing he says is, hi. Obviously, I know.
Does he maybe say hey? And it came
or hey. Hi? Yeah, I think hi or hey. But he like greeted us.
Hey, listen, if we got Hook to every time he started a promo, start with hi, whether he was happy, mad, revengeful, like coming out like to save his dad, like the first thing is hi. And like, you know what I mean? Even if that's all we get, it's like hi, and then just starts beating the shit out of somebody. I'm kind of here for that. I won't hate that.
But
just
watch it back.
Hi, period.
Watch it back. I think he says hi or hey or hello, something like that. Because I remember laughing very hard. And I watched it back, and I think I did hear that. But anyhow, nonetheless, what he says here is, hey, I'm the underdog, but I'm going to go in there and do my best. But one thing I'm definitely going to do is I'm going to make sure, Joe, that you don't get any closer to the title.
Mm-hmm.
Yikes, brother.
Yeah, exactly.
You could have just said, I really want to win. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, spoiler alert, if you didn't get to the ending, we'll tell you here in a minute, but we'll just tell you now. He was the one who lost to Samoa Joe. Like, it wasn't Ricochet who did. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
My mission statement for tonight is that you don't win. Okay, well, I'm going to beat you then.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, I mean, maybe there's something to that to come,
Yeah.
you know?
Bum. Where was Eddie Kingston?
Maybe
Anyhow.
Ricochet prevents Joe from beating Hangman somehow. And then Joe's like, you little bitch.
Something. I don't know. But we'll put a pin in it.
We'll
get
time
there in a second.
for you to lose those picks later at Full Gear presented by DC.
Yeah, they really hit that, didn't they?
Yeah, they did.
Which I saw on Blue Sky. Apparently, Batman hits a one-winged angel in the newest comic.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool.
I still don't understand why it's one-winged, but unless it's a reference I'm not privy to because I'm not a nerd. But
because the only reason I thought is because one leg goes off.
Like over on one.
Yeah.
Maybe
that's the only reason,
yeah.
but I have no idea. All right. We finished. Oh, but anyhow, sorry, back to Hook. Hook says, but Joe, you're not getting closer to the title. But then if you look in the back, you see the Stay Puff Man talking in the background. Ooh, right? Because if you remember the last Trick or Treat that we saw the Stay Puff Man, it was Hangman. So who was it tonight?
Yeah.
We shall see.
True. Who was it tonight? Well, yeah, they did get beat up, and it was Hook. I think I said Ricochet earlier, but yeah, maybe Hook somehow costs.
Yeah,
we could still get back into the Hook
Joe
Hook storyline with the
and all
ops
that
and
stuff.
everything.
Yeah.
We really kind of let that go, but
Samoa Joe and Eddie Kingston fighting for the custody of Hook, and all of it is to actually get the approval of Taz. I think is the best storyline.
Hook on a pole, man.
No, but remember when I told you, like Eddie Kingston and Samoa Joe fighting for Hook, but what they're really doing is to fight for the approval of
to
Taz.
Get Taz's approval, yeah. Be like, look, I'm going to set your kid straight. And he's gonna be like, that's his decision, man. I didn't ask you to do that. Like, have Taz the whole time be like Taz is. Be like, stop. I didn't know, man.
Yeah.
Stop.
Like, well, remember what you taught me in TNA? Yeah.
Hook's his own man. Like, this ain't about me, right? They're like, yeah, but you know. And I'm like, dude, stop, Joe. Like, I'm being very clear, right? Like,
yeah.
Good stuff.
All right. So we keep it moving.
See, Liverpool chat says it's from Final Fantasy. Sephiroth has one wing. See? Nerd stuff. I told you. I knew it was something nerd stuff.
I don't even know what
not disparaging to the nerds. I like the nerds.
I don't even know what Final Fantasy is.
Yeah, it's
what
like
is that? Is that a video game?
Series, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think I've heard it, but I didn't know what it was.
Video games? Maybe there's some movies.
No idea.
I don't know. I know
Don Callis is talking backstage to the Young Bucks. So the Young Bucks, down on their luck, they didn't win the $500,000 match from Collision when they tagged up with FTR. And they're like, this is sad. Brr, 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 brr. And Don Callis comes up and was like, hey, maybe what you need is a family. And the Young Bucks figuratively give him the middle finger. But then Don Callis says, you know what? Actually, Truck, run the Young Bucks special entrance.
Show you what I can do, he says.
Yeah. And so they walk out and it's fireworks and flames and he's yelling the Young Bucks all this
video feed of him over their normal entrance. Like he worked up some entrance. He just put him over their old one. Just doing his shtick. Loved it. But I also liked that they were kind of like, not bad. You know?
Yeah.
Pretty good.
It was a lot. It was a lot. Boom, 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 boom. Burr, burr, burr. Yeah. It was a lot of noise. So they walk out to the ring because they're in the Fright Night 4-way to get the number one contender for Brodito at Full Gear. So the teams goes as follows. The Young Bucks, FTR, Jet Speed, and Jurassic Express. Now, about the entrances. Did you catch Jungle Jack Perry wearing the scapegoat mask? Yeah. I like that. You were saying, hey, I want you to still be the scapegoat a little bit, so here we go.
It looks cooler coming out in his mask with his other partner in a mask, you know what I mean? It's a mask. Although it's weird that one takes the mask off to wrestle.
Yeah, one's a dinosaur.
I don't know if you caught in there too. Somebody was like, "What is Speedball on?" And I think it was, I forget who, but they were like, "Speed." They just left it there. I don't think anybody knew how to answer. They were like, fucking Irish whip into the corner. It was great.
Well, so I think it was just Brian Danielson and I'm blanking on his name. Who's our guy?
So I think it was Brian Danielson who said it. Yeah.
Yeah, but who's our guy?
That was
who's the
another
guy
thing
with the mask?
Where,
Excalibur. Yeah.
Jack Perry hands the knife. So you hear Brian Danielson go like, "Oh, sweet." And then he was like, did Jack Perry just give Brian Danielson a knife? And he was like, "Yeah, I need it. Sitting out here next to Stokely." And Stokely goes, "Hey man, we go way back." And Brian Danielson goes, "Yeah." Yeah,
which, by the way, we had commentary dressed up for Halloween throughout the night.
Right.
Brian Danielson was dressed up as Hechicero, which I thought was funny because he's on the roster right there in front of you here in a little bit. I thought that was great.
But I mean, Hechicero's the coolest.
Yeah, Hechicero, and he even did the hand thing and stuff when he walked out. Yeah. All right, so back to this match. It's the Fright Night 4-way to get the number one contender. We get FTR, we get Jet Speed, Young Bucks, Jurassic Express. We get the good old wrestling. We get a little bit of the Young Bucks and FTR are buddy, and then that, disintegrates super quick. And then they start fighting each other. Jet Speed and Jurassic Express have a, we're not going to low blow each other, but let's be gentlemen and fight it with our hands, and we get all the fun stuff here, but it ends with FTR hitting a shatter machine and then picking up the win. So now we got FTR versus Brodito at Full Gear. How do you feel about that?
I don't know. Like, it'll be fine, right? The match will be good. Whatever build-up they have between it will probably be fine. It's not the team I would have, and maybe they're not going to win, is FTR, but like, it's not the team that I would have been like, yeah, this is the team that, you know what I mean, should go up against Brodito, should vie for these titles. It's just, they weren't my radar for that, right? So it was a little kind of surprising. I'll give them that. But again, maybe this is just kind of a little bump and maybe they don't get there. Maybe I'm just overthinking it.
Well, I think hopefully what it is more to establish Brodito, because if Brodito gets to a certain point where we say they defeated the Young Bucks, they defeated Jet Speed, they defeated FTR, then it's like, because I still think, and maybe this is just my own personal feelings, it's not a real team, right? Bandito is the ROH champion, you know what I mean? But if you just keep saying that they have one name, Brodito, and then they have all these victories over the FTRs, the Young Bucks of the world, then you can't really deny that, like, they're the shit.
True. The thing that goes against Brodito is one person's name is Bandito, right? Mm-hmm. It would be weird if they were like Brodito and it was like Bandito and something else, Dito, right? And but yeah, it's weird. It's too similar to the name as the melded name.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I do get you. And again,
nitpicking.
My personal feelings is just like Brody King is the shit, and I like Bandito. We would see a little bit later. He brought his grandmother to a match and was like,
he's got match of the year candidates galore. Bandito, like, he's awesome.
Oh yeah, he doesn't click with me.
This kind of feels like this is just kind of spinning his wheels here too, right? Like,
yeah, he just doesn't click with me. You know what I mean? Like, if he's your guy, hey, awesome. I don't hate him.
We like to stick in front of the curtains, but I think from what I've read, like, these guys are pals, right? Like, from before and long time, so they're having a fun time doing.
Oh yeah. I'm just saying I'm just saying Bandito, the character, for me, if I were to, have to, this is very stereotypical, but I don't intend it to be that way. But if I were to, like, say who's the luchador in AEW I want to get behind, it's the Beast Mordos. You know what I mean? Like, that's the fucking, and all this, like, and he's a lawyer. Like, that's the shit. You know what I'm saying? But we just keep pinning him.
I'm thinking back to, like, Abyss when he was doing the, like, split gimmick of Joseph Park as lawyer, and people were like, yeah. We could get that out of. Now, I know Beast Mordos is hiding his face, period, right? He's not going to do the, like, full mask off gimmick, I'm betting, but you don't have to. You could just switch to lawyer mode and just be like,
we've seen him in dress clothes.
What's going on? Mm-hmm.
We have pictures with him in dress clothes.
Yeah.
Sure. I would, again, there's something with Smart Mark Sterling and the lawyer Beast Mordos, that is just funny. We could do something that's just funny there. You know what I mean?
I love how smart Mark Sterling could be like, he's not even a real lawyer. And they could be like, you're not even a real lawyer.
Yeah. Just everything is raw.
You're not even a real lawyer. Rawr. Yes, I am a real lawyer.
Comedy skit, obviously. Do not take this serious, but this would be the skit that I would do. I would have someone on trial. Let's say it's Stokely Hathaway for dick riding without
for having no hose.
Yeah. For having no hose, right? I would have him being represented by smart Mark Sterling. AEW, who's filing the lawsuit, is represented by the Beast Mordos. Luchasaurus is the judge because he's dinosaur, so he will understand Beast. And then obviously he understands English from, Jungle Jack Perry and all of that.
Stokely could be like, this is rigged. Look, these are two beasts. You know what I mean?
Yeah, perfect right there. Just do that little segment. That would be
overruled
fun.
Luchasaurus.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, that's the thing too.
You have Luchasaurus even have Jack Perry translating for Luchasaurus, so it's just like this chain of shit. Luchasaurus, and he'd be like, he said you're overruled.
Yeah,
and have him not care, just be like filing his nails, like just not give a shit.
That is great. Yeah, because he doesn't talk to us. Yes, that's great. Love that.
Good stuff. Okay, Tony.
Yeah,
hire us. Or
come on, let's have some fun.
City if you're in the chat there again.
Yeah. I'm just saying, let's have some fun on Collision because Collision kind of just gets really wrestling heavy, and I like wrestling, but I'm not remembering all the moves. You know what I mean? So why don't we
remember Beast Mordos lawyer segment for sure?
Yeah, exactly.
Pull it off right.
And the thing that side quest, we'll get back on track. One thing that I was thinking about, I'm writing an article about MJF. I'm trying to write this article about MJF. It was on my mind, so I started typing and it's working itself out. Anyhow, with that being said, I was thinking through AEW used to take the chances, and I feel like they're playing it too safe. They did the Chris Jericho MJF we sing a Broadway number, and it was like the segment of the year. They did the Manitoba whatever it was, and they had the Incredible Hulk on a phone yelling and stuff. And now I feel like it's just like, and wrestling now. And it's like, I get that, but come on. That's what made you fun.
Theo P has joined the chat. And he says, who's wearing the NWO 2000 silver and black Jeff Jarrett shirt? Oh, man, look at that. Yay. Yay. It's never going to change. It's never going to change again from here on out. It's never coming back here. I'm going to live a life free of the Jeff Jarrett shirt. And it's going to be great. It's going to be like heaven. It's opened up and welcomed me in.
Hate it. But yeah, I was just thinking AEW needs to go back to having some more creative. Remember when Matt Hardy was in AEW and the fucking drone was attacking Chris Jericho in the hot tub, and he's like, release the hounds, and it was these two little house dogs.
I'll say this for Jericho. That was probably that. It helped having Jericho's influence to get some of that, right?
Right.
He probably had some sway to get things like that in there that maybe nobody else is thinking of right now because everybody's a little more like, this is kind of real. We're like,
and it's just like, but I want some more fun. Get back to having some fun. So again, Beast Mordos lawyer segment with Mark Sterling and Luchasaurus. Okay. So as we mentioned, FTR will be taking on Brodito at Full Gear. And then we get the Don Callis Family Summit. And first off, let's talk about this painting. So it was unveiled by Rocky Romero. Whoever this artist is doing
I found out who it is on Blue Sky. I forgot their name, but we should reach out and see if they want to talk to us. We used to have other artists talk to us that don't seem to want to talk to us anymore.
Oh no. Oh, I'm gonna go run away and trace some shit. Talk to my mom. Okay. But this fucking artwork, it was magnificent, right? We've got Don Callis in a toga, I guess you could say, or something. And then you've got all the members, which, by the way, the thing that I caught, Brian Cage is still in the Don Callis family. So they mentioned some people couldn't make it for travel, Takeshita. Some people couldn't make it for injury, but they don't say Brian Cage. But if you look at the artwork, Brian Cage is still there. So I thought that was interesting.
But they're all ripped 12-pack abs.
Oh, Trent has never looked better than what he does in that painting. He's got all the abs that are possible. And
the style of these paintings is like the one from the Ghostbusters movie, right? That same kind of like.
Yeah. It's like it's a mix of Ghostbusters and 300. You know what I mean? Like a baby of that. Yeah, I do like it, but it is interesting. And so, yes, we've got
Liverpool chat says, was Andrade on it? Have you heard about that? I know you kind of stay off, but have you heard about what WWE is doing to them?
Mm-mm.
So they fired Andrade for cause. Fired him for cause. And then said, that means he shows up on AEW. They said, oh, no, you can't do that. That means in your contract, if we fire you for cause, you have a 1-year non-compete. And they're like, what? And then, so now they're trying to use that as leverage to get Andrade to re-sign. You fired him for cause. What are you talking about?
Yeah, how could you limit?
What the fuck are you?
That has to be illegal on any basis because
I can't imagine exactly.
Because you can't.
If you'll remember, non-competes were under the last fucking presidential were eliminated to begin with, but now they're fucking back. So
but I'm not even saying that because look. Right. But like, let's even say non-competes didn't.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Oops.
No, that's fine. Let's say that non-competes didn't happen in the last administration, right? Let's just say it's been the way it's always been.
Just was. Yeah.
Yeah.
1 year for when I fired you.
That's what I'm saying. You can't take money away from me and then say, but you can't make money the way you have been making money. That you either do one or the other, right? Because if you leave at me as a business, I get it, right? You can't take our secrets and go somewhere else. But if I say, get out of here,
then I say, compete means cool. That means you're paying me a year to sit on the shelf. You know what I mean? Like,
now that's a difference. Yeah. Yeah. If you want to pay me the year, maybe a different conversation, but you can't say I can't earn income and then I also can't get money from you. Like, that's just a silly ass thing. Yeah. So no, I did not notice
Liverpool
that,
chat says, and people wonder why I hate WWE. Well, we didn't wonder. We know why everybody hates it and should hate it.
Yeah, I understand it.
Oh, I mean, oops.
To a certain degree, if like you're the super casual of casual fans and you remember John Cena from 10 years ago and you're like, WWE, I get it. But if you like, hey, I like wrestling and you like WWE, I don't respect you. Like, I think you're a lesser than person.
You're watching. Like, I don't even know what that is over there.
Even if it was Kenny Omega and Will Ospreay doing 60-minute greatest matches of all time, if you like WWE, I don't respect you because you know what the fucking company is. I don't give a shit what they produce, right? Hey, the greatest restaurant, if the greatest food was produced out of a fucking restaurant made by Nazis, it doesn't mean we go to the fucking restaurant. They're Nazis. You don't fucking support it.
No, a lot of people still go to Chick-fil-A, so yeah.
They're Nazis? I thought they were just closed on Sundays.
Well, that's because they're fucking Nazi types. Well, yeah, they used to try to stop gay marriage stuff all the time. They give a lot of money to the Heritage Foundation.
Okay, hold on. Side note, though. Side quest on that real quick. Because one thing I but one thing I experienced that no one talks about. I went to In-N-Out for the first time when I went on a work trip to Santa Barbara.
Are they not?
John 3:16 is at the bottom of every cup. But if you talk to the, liberal voices in whatever the fucking things we're calling this now, they're like, oh, double with animal sauce or whatever the fuck it's called. Oh, but Chick-fil-A is the bad guy. Fuck it. Anyhow, fuck WWE. What were we saying? Don Callis.
I love Don Callis.
I love Don Callis.
God, I keep accidentally, just oops.
It happens. YG, man, what a guy. I did not notice Andrade in that painting, but Rocky Romero gave us the painting. Then,
there might have been some legal. They probably, they probably have a version.
Who knows?
That must suck for the artist. They might have been like already working on that, and then be like, "Hey, we needed to redo it. Take Andrade out."
Okay, so then Josh Alexander, what does he say here? He says, "Oh, we're about destruction, right?" And so they show a
I
video
like how
package.
all the thing is. It's the what, it's the why, it's
Why?
the
It's
who, the
the
whatever.
who,
Yeah.
yeah.
That was good.
And then
Worked out well.
And then I think the de facto leader, obviously Don Callis is a leader, but it feels as if the presentation, the de facto leader, the protostar, Kyle Fletcher, then he takes the microphone and he talks
I feel
about
like he's supposed to be kind of the leader, but like it feels like it's like Takeshita or Okada are the alphas to say the thing, even though Kyle Fletcher's supposed to be like, we're kind of all doing this for Kyle right now. And it's like, I don't think we are.
Yeah,
it's weird.
It feels the presentation is that Kyle, to me at least, it's Kyle is the guy and everyone else is awesome, but not to the level of Kyle, you know?
Right. We're all doing our thing, but like Kyle, right? Everybody remember Kyle. Watch Kyle.
Yeah. And so he says, what does he say here? What does the Don Callis what does the Don Callis family do? And then he reads this oath about how like you do everything for Don and we're the best and whatever, right? Fun. And then before he gets to go any longer, the music of Takeshita hits and he stands there looking all like a fucking model on one of those sex books that your fucking grandma reads, you know, like hey, you know what I'm talking about, the Fabio fucking shits.
Yeah, no, she showed me.
I love that as a kid, right as I'm putting apples on the conveyor belt to check out at a grocery store, there's a magazine of like 69 ways to pleasure your fucking boyfriend. That was there every fucking day.
Yeah, the 80s are a wonderful thing.
It's the best. Oh my God. Make him scream like you've never have before. Where's the ice cream?
There used to be in the video store, some of them, there was just a little curtain. You could go in
brother, I tell you what, you have a ball in it. I don't know how it ended up back there. I got to get my ball.
Now I got to drive behind the Taco Bell and get buzzed in to see those videotapes.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I used to always like drop something and kick it over there. I'm like, oh, hey, I gotta go get my whatever. Yep. Oh man, that was best.
I look 18, right? I look 18.
Yeah.
You want to go back to
it? You want to go back to a real old argument we used to have in Liverpool? You may not have been with us during this time period, but speaking of blockbusters and places of that, I used to, besides trying to sneak into the adult section of all of those video stores, I would always take the wrestling VHSs and move them somewhere else because it's not a fucking sport. I did. I was like, this is bullshit. This is not fucking
fantasy. This is not sport.
Yeah. Tito Ortiz versus Ken Shamrock is not the same as The Rock versus Stone Cold. Get the fucking shit out of here. Like, Holyfield Tyson is not the same as Hogan Savage. Yeah, I used to always do that shit.
One is a play about the other, honestly. Like
exactly. Yes. Ugh. Anyhow, Takeshita, he walks out there looking just gorgeous as ever. And he gets up there and he's going right. Yeah, he's going right for Okada. And Okada this entire time, Okada was just kind of hanging out. Did you notice this? Sitting on the, he was just like, hey, kind of having fun. Also, another note on that. Everyone had a seat except for Lance Archer. Did you catch that too?
Well, he's tall. He's got to be tall. We know that. He's got to be tall.
But like, he was just sitting on the edge on a table. Anyhow, so Takeshita goes right towards...
He's the bouncer. He needs to be ready to fucking...
I guess. Well, he didn't do anything here because Takeshita goes right towards Okada and they're about to get into it. And Don Callis basically says, get over your ego for the family.
He says,
shake his hand.
He says, we're all alphas here, you know?
Yeah.
Shake his hand. Yeah.
He also mentions how it was him who started the Don Callis family. Takeshita was the first member based off of the ashes of Kenny Omega's career, right? And so he's like, shake his hand. Shake his hand. So he's like complimenting him and also insulting him kind of at the same time.
Putting him in his place with compliments.
Right. Yes. And so he goes, shake his hand. So Takeshita finally is like, all right, motherfucker, fine. Shake your hand. And then Okada goes, meh. and just flips them off, and then we get a pull apart. All this stuff. And that's where, again, I thought Kyle Fletcher was kind of the leader because he was bouncing between each little group, right? He's over here talking to Okada saying, hey, calm down. Then he's going over to Takeshita, hey, calm down. So that was our segment. What did you think of the Don Callis Family Summit?
What sticks out to me most is how good Okada is. He shows you how the best acting is to just be it, right? You don't have to overthink it. You just have to be what you are, like what you're supposed to be in that moment, and be in that moment. He looked annoyed the majority of that segment, or bored, right? Whatever it called for, right? And then he got glee out of fucking with Takeshita, right? Like, he was like big brothering him as Don was fucking talking down with just the most subtlest of looks, right? And it was just great. He looks like the fucking biggest star in the room, and he doesn't have to do shit. He's great.
Now,
but all this is great. I think they've built a lot of great intrigue for this, right?
Now, here's the question I had after the end of this segment. If we go back earlier into the show, when Don Callis is trying to recruit the Young Bucks, does Don Callis lean on Okada to get the Young Bucks to join the family? Because it was essentially the Young Bucks saying, I guess we're cool with Okada going to Don Callis, and we'll be cool with you guys.
I mean, whether we get the Young Bucks or not, I think the trigger here is they put the boots to Takeshita, and we all get the empathy for Takeshita.
Yeah, that's where we're definitely going. I'm not more interested. I'm just also interested in Okada's also in this group, but Okada's best friends are the Young Bucks. And so if Don Callis is trying to get the Young Bucks, then do we get like the secondary story of
next segment, right? Where he's like, you like that entrance? I got the same thing. And I got you these robes, right? And they're like, yeah. And they're getting ready to go on. Their music hits. And Okada's just sitting there like,
isn't this great?
You know what I mean? Like, running there.
Those rules, huh?
I mean, look, if he's fucking.
Well, and you know actually how he could really sell it on them, because especially now that they're broke, is like you said, they get in their custom robes made by Don Callis, and then Okada's just counting cash, just like
just kind of stuff some in their pocket of the robes, right? He'll be like,
I got all this extra money.
Just give a little wink and a fucking yeah.
Would be fun.
What would be great is if later they're in the back and they're just Don Callis bucks. They're not even.
The fuck is this counterfeit?
What the fuck? That's as good as money, pal. That's as good as money. It's contingent on you joining the Don Callis family, and then you'll get the.
Oh man, and them being nerds. Think of this. This would be how I would do that too. So Don Callis and Okada hand him money. Then the next week, the Young Bucks come and confront Don Callis and like, what was all this? We tried to go to Hobby Lobby.
To the casino, and they fucking
we went to Hobby Lobby. We went to the Christian bookstore and couldn't get the newest, and they're like, what? You went to Hobby Lobby? Yeah. You didn't know that Kirk Cameron's newest book about the reckoning of Jesus is like in there? No.
But I do, at the end of that, that's when Nick should have been like, I told you we should have went to the casino.
Exactly, yeah. They should have went to the casino.
They wouldn't have taken the money either, dumbass.
Yes, that's how you end that segment. Yeah, that would have been great. Okay, so we end the I know, come on, we're having fun here.
We'll sign right now.
I'll give you my blood. I don't give a shit. Whatever you need. I'll tell you, Jeff Jarrett's good. I'll work with Jeff Jarrett. I don't even give a shit, Whatever you need, brother.
Look, our friends on LinkedIn with him.
Let's do it. That was our Don Callis Family Summit, and we keep moving. We get a quick promo of Olympia, who's going to be challenging Mercedes Moné this Saturday for the CMLL Women's World Championship. She seemed cool, liked her, didn't move the needle, but I also didn't hate it.
But yeah, should be good.
And then we go backstage, and Chris Statlander puts Mercedes Moné on notice. So she says, hey, I crashed your shit last week. Didn't that suck? And by the way, if you got anything to say, I'm right here. I'm easy to find. And she pulls this pose. I don't know what she's doing with this pose, but I kind of like it.
Yeah,
it's like a
almost
Zoolander pose. Kind of yeah. And then she's like, not hard to find.
find a bunch of sporting events where people were doing the Randy Orton. They were like, the Randy Orton pose is more over than half of their roster right now. Like,
yeah. Yeah, the old timers are more over than what they got right now. Because I sent you the Detroit Lions running back is going as Jeff Hardy. Yeah, done.
Love that.
So Statlander says, Monet, come get it if you want it, bitch. And then we move on. We get next in-ring action, Jon Moxley versus Kyle O'Reilly 2. Because if you remember, previous week, Jon Moxley caught an ankle lock, just hits the fucking ref. And it's like, I'm not losing this way, motherfucker. I'm not quitting 2 times in a week. And so then we do the match again. This is how Kyle O'Reilly needs to be presented. Because it was every time Jon Moxley went for something, Kyle O'Reilly was like, oh, I got you in a triangle. Oh, I got you in an armbar. Oh, I got you in a guillotine. Like, if you want him to be nerdy, this guy, like that conglomeration video, I think is really great, right? The 1990s Friends thing with Willow and
100%.
Hologram and all that, But if you want me to take Kyle O'Reilly seriously, you got to do more of this where it's like, oh, I just catch any submission I want, Like a non-drug, more nerdy version on screen of Matt Riddle. Remember how Matt Riddle would kind of throw any submission on you?
What we were gonna do with Daniel Garcia in more of the but I like this because I like hurting you, right? I thought that was the presentation that they were gonna do with him, where Matt wrestled the fuck out of you and you can't do shit about everything you got. I'm gonna twist your arm back and fucking get you in this lock and just laugh at you while my fucking middle finger's in your face, right?
Now that could be the heel version, but that could be the heel version, and then the babyface version is what we saw with Kyle O'Reilly.
Yeah, where this is more Bryan Danielson-esque of
exactly.
Try me, but I'll wriggle out of anything you got, and you know what I mean? You're not gonna out-tire or you're not gonna outrun me, so you better just knock me out, or
I will strangle you in any position. Yeah, he wears a mouthpiece, so sometimes
it's my favorite pickup line.
Yeah.
Hey yo. All right.
Hey, all right. So the way this match ends is Kyle O'Reilly tries to get Jon Moxley. I think he's going to do a running kick, and then what's her name? What's her name? You know what I'm talking about. Marina Shafir cuts him off and is like, you ain't doing that. And then he said, oh, fine. And then Jon Moxley tries to get the upper hand. We get Kyle O'Reilly put a standing guillotine on Jon Moxley. Count out. Not the greatest finish. But to her credit, Marina Shafir goes, well, I know how everyone can hate us. I'm going to punch Aubrey Edwards right in the fucking mouth. And she, what?
And to Aubrey's credit, sold that well. That she didn't flop around and do the Devon. It looked like she got punched in the face. Right? And it was like, oh my God. And I was like, oh shit. And I think Aubrey's done some wrestling and stuff.
But still.
Or at least been around the business for a long time. So did a great job here.
Yeah, so we get a double count out. Marina Shafir says, don't like that shit. Hits Aubrey Edwards right in the mush. And then Claudio comes out and we're beating up on Kyle O'Reilly. That then brings, I guess the rest of the Death Rider suit, Garcia and Yuta as well. Then that brings out Roderick.
Jon Moxley kind of can't put him away, right? We're still telling that story.
Well, and then we pivot because as we're kicking the shit out of Kyle O'Reilly, then his friends come. So we get Roderick Strong, we get Mark Briscoe, we get Orange Cassidy, and we get Darby Allin.
Yeah.
And this could have been tightened up because it kind of felt like, if we have bad news to tell someone and you're like, hey, so let us sit us down, sit you down here. Got some news to tell you. Tim, you got this. And then then it's your turn and you're like, okay, actually, that because Darby Allin does this whole thing where he's like, oh, I've been chasing you guys for a year and we got something to say. And then Mark Briscoe is just like, yeah, you chickens and Orange Cassidy. It was like, who the fuck's going to say blood and guts? The crowd is saying it. Just fucking someone do this.
I would have tightened it up where it's just there's no reason that Orange Cassidy would have been reluctant to say it. Right? He doesn't have a lot of gusto and he's not an excitable personality because he's too cool for that. So what you do there is you don't be like, I don't want to say it. You just they'll be like, so tell him, Orange, and be like, what? And be like, tell him our plan, and be like, oh, blood and guts, and they'll be like, yeah, right? yeah, right, blood and guts, right, yeah.
Now, this could be a little bit of character development where maybe Orange Cassidy, because if you remember how this whole Death Riders thing started, he was the first one who didn't want to be the hero.
He doesn't want blood and guts.
And he doesn't want blood and guts. That could be the whole thing where he goes back into being a reluctant wrestler.
We still need to tie up, even if we get through blood and guts, we need to tie up the Kyle O'Reilly and the Jon Moxley thing. Kyle O'Reilly, does he get one over finally and put away Jon Moxley? Jon Moxley can't get. Has he got Jon Moxley's number like nobody else has?
I will say this. In an isolated story with nothing else existing, I think the way you would end this is in blood and guts. Kyle O'Reilly finally gets a submission to where Jon Moxley taps.
So now that there without Moxley, that's a good.
But the thing that would suck is then if you take a step back, that would mean that Jon Moxley quit against Kyle O'Reilly, he quit against Darby Allin, and he quit against Hangman.
Well, so that's where we can start getting into it. It's like, you're actually a quitter. And you're like, no, I'm not.
Yes.
And then like, roll tape. And fucking,
yes.
You know.
Now, if you want to, exactly. If you want to kick Jon Moxley out of the Death Riders, that could be the way we start this.
That's where. So remember when we were like, who did we say would take over?
Claudio.
And they could eventually kick him out. Yeah, like Claudio. Or he can be like, you know what, you're quitting, right? Yeah. Or even like somebody like a new thing, like The Rock kind of took over the nation, right? Like they bring in a new person, right? Mm-hmm. Darby joins or whatever, right? Yeah. And then he's like, actually, you suck. Quit a bunch. You quit to me, you quit to him.
Mm-hmm.
You quit to, and they're like, what? No. And they'll be like, yeah, you did, right? And then the hyenas turn on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So that's where I would go logically. But I don't know if we're going to have Moxley tap out 3 times that quick consecutively.
It's been very within this year.
Yeah.
Right? Even
so I'm not exactly sure, but I'm excited. Darby and Moxley in another how do I kill myself match seems very fun. I'm also interested in Pac and Orange Cassidy mixing it up. Always excited to see Yuta bleed somehow, so that'll be fun. Mark Briscoe always likes to just push the limits with how much pain he can tolerate, so I'm excited.
Yuta
I will say, though,
he knows how much Sudafed he can get for a catalytic converter.
Ooh, that's a good one. I do like that one. That was actually very funny.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I will say this, though, and I saw some of this commentary live while we were posting last night. So now we've got a women's blood and guts match, but then we also have a men's blood and guts match. I personally would have only done the women's match because it's like the women finally get their spot, but we're still doing a men's match. And it's like, you didn't do that previously.
Then it feels like themed pay-per-view, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I don't want that, right? I don't want it. Like, what was the, like, WWE did this where, like, every match is a this kind of match.
TLC,
right?
Yeah, whatever it was. Yeah.
I don't.
Chairs match.
Look, I'm not the sickoest of the sickos, right? We can go a whole pay-per-view without blood, right? We can do that. I'm fine with that, right? Like if it's there, it's cool, but like I don't need it. So like when we do blood and guts twice, I'm like, I didn't sign up. Like if I knew I was coming to the GCW show, I might know I'm ready for that. You know what I mean? Like, you know, sometimes I'd like to keep it in the middle, right? Let's do a women's one show, right? And a men's another show.
Yeah, that's how I would do it. Yeah, I know, but still, who cares? We could have done it. Yeah. Also, we need to figure out a way to get Roderick Strong out of this match and Nick Gage in this match.
Yeah.
Can you imagine a team of Mark Briscoe, Darby Allin, and Nick Gage, and then Orange Cassidy? You know what I mean? And then Orange Cassidy.
The showdown between Nick Gage and Orange Cassidy when they're like just have a moment together in the ring would be amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, if you could have a moment where Orange Cassidy out-violence Nick Gage in front of him.
All he has to do is like, he just takes like a light tube and he just kind of cracks it on something. Just kind of like,
But then he gets so wild that Nick Gage is like, "What the fuck is happening?"
Yeah.
And Orange Cassidy's
Nick
like
Gage
covered
is
in
going
blood.
crazy.
Yeah, it's like, what the fuck? Yeah, that would be a cool spot too. Damn it, Tony, come on, fucking. But I heard that Nick Gage is actually going through some real stuff. I was just more thinking of a blood and guts match. Anyhow, we'll get back on track here. What happens next? We go backstage and we see a fight. Mercedes Moné and Chris Statlander. They're kicking and punching each other. Bop, bop, bop. And they go to the ring, kicking, punching, kicking, punching,
Wrestle
and
tussle.
then guess who comes to help out Mercedes Moné? It's her tag partner in this tournament coming up, the AEW Ring of Honor Women's
It's
World
a weird
Champion
turn we've taken with those two.
Athena.
I know I watched it happen, and like they
it
gave
felt
it
rushed.
some lip service, but it was rushed and like it just happened. Like they're friends now, they're cool. They were shit talking each other and were like fucking big dogging each other. And what happened to that? They're just cool now.
I guess.
Yeah. I don't know.
I'd do so, because then also what happened to why didn't Athena pick Billy Starks?
You know what they should have done? They should have done the 2-woman power trip, right? Like girl boss. You know what I mean? Like
now, if they look, they could, right? Like,
yeah,
you could easily have Mercedes your women's champion, Athena your Ring of Honor women's champion,
tag titles. Now
yeah,
she's 13 belts, Moné, and
15 belts. Let's do 37. Who cares? The Mud Flap East Tennessee Water Championship or whatever the fuck it is.
Still, nobody. The coolest thing with multiple belts ever done was done by the Bang Bang Gang when they had the dual trios titles and they like clipped them all together and they were like passing them back and forth to each other.
Yeah, exactly.
Nobody can do it cooler anymore.
Nope.
That's what she should do. She just have like a long chain of all the belts like together being carried by some. You know what I mean? Just like how you carry a fucking casket, just have like 14 people carrying this long chain of belts together.
She walks underneath it. Yeah, if you like had it as like an outdoor show and had it as like shade for her, that'd be kind of cool. Yeah. So anyhow, we get Statlander being beat up by Athena and Mercedes Moné, which then brings out interesting enough. There you go, Harley Cameron, but also Willow Nightingale, which brings up that history of Willow Nightingale and Chris Statlander. What do you think about that?
Yeah, well, that's always going to be hanging there. I think we're forever going to have tension and something between them. Even when they reunite or whatever, I think we've just built that enough. So I don't know if this leads to anything immediately on the Chris Statlander side, right? I think Willow's still tied up in the Harley and the blah, 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 blah. So I think we'll just get some, some crossing in the night, if you will.
We'll see. Liverpool chat says, I really hate Monet. I can't watch it most weeks. Same. Bring up again. I forgot how you identified it, but then I can't remember how you explained it. Her issue with saying women's world champion.
Jesus, she doesn't say women's world champion as though this is the plural possessive, right? Women's. She says woman's as though it's like a singular possessive, as if I were to say, I stole this woman's purse, right? She says the woman's world heavyweight championship. And I'm like, that is not, no, it is women's world heavyweight championship, right? Like, that's what I'm saying. She's saying it as though like, you know what I mean? Like I've got this woman's pen in my hand right now, right?
Yes, that's it. I couldn't remember how you explained it, and I was like, it's the fucking worst.
Yes, she says it in the singular possessive.
Yes, that's what it was. Good.
Which is the wrong tense for what this is. It's the women's world championship, right? It's the women's division, right? Plural.
Not hard to fucking say. Women's. Go to, you have enough money, go to a speech class, right? Go to a speech therapist. Anyhow. So we'll see what happens there. Then we have our first match, and I wrote this on Blue Sky, and I really meant this. We have our first tournament match for the AEW Women's World Championship Tournament quarterfinals. It's the Sisters of Sin, Sky Blue, and Julie Hart taking on Queen Aminata. Yeah, Queen Aminata and Jamie Hayter. I legit thought this was probably the match of the night. I liked it more than Moxley and O'Reilly. This fucking hit.
I don't hate if we don't give Queen Aminata more of the stick that she was doing and make this Hayter Aminata thing a team. They look like they belong together.
Yeah. Now,
Just
interesting enough.
two looking like in the finest threads of the 1970s, but coming out to beat shit out of you. I love it.
Yeah. Yeah. What was that? Foxy Brown, right? Wasn't that the detective in the 70s? Foxy Brown.
And like that.
Yeah.
Yes.
But interesting enough, former women's world champion Jamie Hayter and Queen Aminata, also kicking ass, lose to the Sisters of Sin.
Yep.
So Sky Blue and Julie Hart.
The Sisters of Sin are an already established team of sorts. And I think
that's why
I wouldn't be surprised if they don't get the titles, if that makes sense.
That's what I was saying. That's why I thought they would lose. It's because like, well, we could always have Sisters of Sin just come in and out whenever we need.
True.
Jimmy Hayter and Queen Aminata. But anyhow, hey, they went with Sisters of Sin, so they advance. Let me see. Did I write that? I don't know who they're going to be facing, but they won, so that's cool. Then
we don't know yet, right? Because that was the first match.
Right, but you know how the tournament breaks out. Yeah. Oh, yeah. So I guess you're right. Yeah. And the winner of book, whatever. Then, Tim, we get some sad news. Legitimately, Penelope Ford tore her right arm off, apparently.
Yeah.
And she's not going to be Megan Bain's partner. She's also not going to be in the women's Blood and Guts match. And this fucking sucks for two reasons. One, story continuity, right? She's been in this whole story. It sucks that she's not in it. But two, and this is for me, she is bad fucking ass about these hardcore matches.
She's about that life. Yeah, she would have taken a lot of these spots and done a lot of the things that, like, and I'm not saying others won't, but like we know some of the things she would have done and signed up for and that we would have got her doing that, like, if somebody else is signing up to it, more power to them because she's intense.
Go back and watch her independent career where she was doing like those intergender matches with Ethan Page, but also, again, one of the greatest matches in AEW history. If I were to rank the top 10 matches of all time, I know a lot of people are going to do like Ospreay this match, Ospreay that match, and Ospreay this match. I get it. Whatever. Cool for you. Yeah. I would put that New Year's Eve tag team match between Ty Mello and Anna Jay versus the Bunny and Penelope Ford up there with the best of them. That match fucking rules. And you know Penelope Ford would have went fucking crazy in this Blood and Guts match. But she is hurt. Then Megan Bain says, all right, then who wants to wear big hats with me? And then Miranda Shafir is like, I do. Where's my big hat? And John Moxley's like, ooh, big hats. This is cool.
John Moxley's facial expressions in this was great, where he's like, oh, shit. Oh, we about to... And he's like, we about to do this shit? We about to fucking do this shit? Yeah, he's like, sounds like a great fucking plan to me. I'm paraphrasing. Loved it.
Yes,
I did notice, though, like, so fucking Megan Bain still got the, like, height and size, but, like, Shafir's got a giant fucking head. Her head was like twice. I was like, don't get headbutted by Shafir. Jesus, man.
Yeah, she'll get you.
Yeah, this is weird. I mean, I guess, like, you got to call an audible, and this is who's here on the roster, and might not have much else to plug in that makes sense. So do it and, lose a match together. Whatever.
Here's where...
Do they win? Do they win a match?
No.
Continue this at least for a week, this little, like...
No, I think this may be the rivalry, right? They lose, and then one blames the other, and then there we go. This is where, though, going back to an earlier segment, diversity matters. We could have easily made this make sense if Don Callis had women in his family, and then Don Callis just walks up to Megan Bain and says, I want more titles, team with, let's just say Marina Shafir was in there, team with Marina Shafir, and now... Megan Bain takes the money because Don Callis is paying essentially for women's world tag team championships. Right. And then there you go. But Don Callis only has men in his group. He's the most diverse.
Just take the goddess. And then, but then he would need to find another tag team partner. You know what I mean?
But, But like he has the most diverse faction of only men wrestlers. Of only men wrestlers. No women. Fucking.
Yeah.
Even the Dangerous Alliance had Medusa, for fucking Christ's sake. You know what I'm saying? Like,
DX had China, in there. For fuck's sake.
Yeah, DX had China as their muscle. You know what I mean? So,
Miss Elizabeth.
Yeah. Yeah, they had Miss Elizabeth. They also had Woman for a second. Woman and Miss Elizabeth were in the Four Horsemen. Remember that when Ric Flair was walking with them? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Damn. Yeah. Add a woman. Fucking Don. You sexist cunt.
At one point was like, yeah, 2/5
yeah.
women.
yeah, that faction or that fraction of whatever that is. Yeah, that's what they were.
Do the math here real quick.
yeah, one carry the three. My blood type's A.
It's like a third women over here.
Yeah. All right, now let's get to our Fright Night 4-way #1 contenders match for the AEW Men's World Championship main event match.
Nailed it. Yeah, nailed it. Yeah.
It is
Rubber baby
Ricochet.
buggy bumpers.
Yep, there it is. It's Ricochet versus Bobby Lashley versus Hook versus Samoa Joe. Now, I got to ask you about what I've thought, seen from all other comments, was the moment of the match where Bobby Lashley and Hook are wrestling. Bobby Lashley throws Hook kind of over the top rope, but still on the apron, and then yells, "Calm down!" and just fucking hits him. Are we thinking that was legit, part of the story? What'd you think?
I can't imagine it was part of the story because it doesn't make any sense to say calm down for anything else I can think of story-wise. He had to have been trying to do something like as a young kid, right? Not knowing the game. Bobby Lashley being a 45-year-old, 45-year veteran now is like, calm down, kid.
Yeah. It felt like
Body
a
slam,
little bit. Yeah. It felt a little bit of, hey, we need to. Because I felt like it was a work because I think we want maybe to show that Hook has this youthful fire.
Side.
Yeah, that he can just go with anyone. And Bobby Lashley's
Bobby
being
just thought he was saying something cool, right? Like, calm down, you know what I mean? And he could have just went in and just said it. So.
Well, so after he hits him, though, one thing that I did love, and I posted this on our Blue Sky account as well, is so he hits Hook. Hook falls to the floor. Bobby Lashley goes out. And before he grabs Hook, he looks right in the camera and goes, "Taz, I'm sorry." And then he just fucking throws him. And it's like, that's awesome that he, apologized to fucking Taz of all people. Yeah. Yeah. I thought that was great. But anyhow, so we get all the fun stuff here. So we get our Bobby Lashley and Ricochet spot. We get our Samoa Joe and Hook face to face. The ending, little bit clunky, but not the worst thing in the world. So we get Bobby Lashley on the apron. He's about to interrupt Samoa Joe from choking out Hook. But before he does that, Ricochet hits him with a chair. So Bobby's like, "You bitch." And he goes to run after Ricochet. Joe then hooks in the rear naked choke on Hook. Before Bobby can get in to disrupt the submission, Hook, I guess, passes out. I don't think he actually tapped.
I think the ref just called it.
Yeah, just called it. Yeah. Yeah. And so now
Limp Hook
is, again, my mission is to make sure that my mission is to make Samoa Joe not get this championship. Brother, you're the reason he's closer.
You're dead now. Yeah.
Yeah. And so Samoa Joe wins, right? Bobby Lashley then just walks off after Ricochet. Ricochet's obviously running for his life. Hook rolls out. He needs assistance to get to the back. Then, in a move we've never done before, Tony Schiavone says, "Hey, let's do the contract signing right fucking now."
Yeah.
We've never done
good
that.
job here on the swap out.
Of Hook, perfect. Yeah.
Of Tony and Hangman. I didn't notice until the key was faced up in the camera behind him that I was like, all right, I see what's going on here. But when he was outside the ring and everything, I had no clue. Mm-hmm. Watching it back later, I noticed they got Tony to whenever they did the swap out, right? But I noticed watching it back later, I noticed they got Tony to clean up his beard a little, so that Hangman's wouldn't look as out of place, right? Yeah. But other than that, man, they did a good job here. Yeah.
So Tony says, "Let's do the contract signing."
They made him fat. I noticed how they put some padding in it. Yeah,
of course. Yeah. Now, if you didn't see this, what we're referencing is Tony Schiavone was dressed up as the Phantom of the Opera all night because, again, the Fright Night Halloween Spectacular.
But in his normal Tony gear, just beige.
Yeah, he did this. apparently I did not know this, but I saw it on Blue Sky. He did this look on a Halloween show in like 1980, whatever it was, in WCW. So it was like going back to that original one in 89 or whatever it was. But we do this contract signing. The Stay Puft Man and his other dressed up friends come into the ring, and Bobby Lashley's like, "Oh, what is this going to be?" And so they just beat the shit out of beat the shit out of all four of them.
I love how like the local talent that had to fill that role, like you can't even be like, I was the guy in the Stay Puft. They're like, sure you were, Steve.
Oh yeah. Oh, you were the red guy.
Okay.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but they take the head off of the Stay Puft guy. It's not Hangman. Punches him. Samoa Joe then goes, "All right, crisis averted. I'll sign this thing." And so he signs it. And then again, this is where it gets even weirder because now Tony Schiavone's like, "Hey, let's cheers.
Let's have some beers." Yeah.
Joe and the ops are like, "Okay.
Fuck it, get some beers."
Yeah, sure, nerd. And so then we get this toast from Tony Schiavone that then ends with Hangman revealing that he's actually in the ring.
Yeah, so at first he's just like, "Hey, Samoa Joe will take on whatever," and Joe's like, "Yeah," and he's like, "We'll be the number one contender," and he's like, "To face the AEW Men's World Champion, the greatest or whatever," and he's like, "What?" And he's like, "Hangman," he's like, "The epitome of cowboy shit," and he's like, "What?" Like you see Samoa Joe being like, "Bitch, what?" And then he's like, "Hangman Adam Page, long may he reign," and that's when Joe's like, "You son of a bitch," right? Like,
yeah,
I don't know, is he like, "Tony, what the fuck, dog?"
Well, so here's the interesting thing that AEW now historically has always done great with details, right? They will always come back and say like, you know, tie up loose ends.
Mm-hmm.
My first thought after after Hangman hits Samoa Joe with the buckshot and we're all celebrating, my first thought, again, if this was real, right, in the story, we're in the storyland of AEW, my first thought is, well, I bet Samoa Joe's going to kill Tony Schiavone.
Yeah. I mean, doesn't he have to? He at least has to fucking grab him up and be like, "What the fuck,
scare him,
Hangman now? You fucking think you can get one over on me? You love the cowboy shit, huh? What do you think I'm going to do to you?" Right? And be like, "Oh, fucking, yeah."
Oh, that makes perfect sense. Because you know what we're going to do? We're going to play the hits. We're going to have Samoa Joe grab Tony Schiavone. What the fuck? You think you're just so fucking... Nigel McGuinness.
Out in the crowd.
But Nigel McGuinness steps in, and then we're going to run back the glory days of Ring of Honor, Samoa Joe, Nigel McGuinness, for a random Collision or Dynamite episode. Everyone's going to lose their mind, but it all plays into the story of Hangman versus Samoa Joe. That's what you do.
Tony,
God damn it.
Tony.
So that's our AEW Fright Night.
City.
Yeah, that was our AEW Fright Night Dynamite. What'd you think, Tim? Did you have a good time?
I did have a good time. I've been having a blast with AEW. WrestleDream was awesome. Dynamite in Kansas City the week before of that was awesome. And I was explaining this to my wife not too long ago because she brought up, you know, there was some news story about WWE or whatever. And I was just like, I literally haven't watched a fucking stitch of that thing in years. I was like, AEW has saved my wrestling fandom. I don't know that I'd be watching wrestling right now if they hadn't come along. And I'm still having a blast. It's great.
Yep. By the way, I did notice if you have Hulu and you want to go back to the 10, 15, 25 episode of AEW Dynamite, the still shot will be that of Chris Statlander and Tony Storm faced off in the ring. And right behind Tony Storm's ass, you're going to see a guy in an orange shirt. That's me. I'm in the still shot. I thought that was so much fun. I was like, hey, that's me right there.
Yeah.
Right next to Tony's ass.
Son, when I saw him recently, I was like, hey, you know, I went to this wrestling show, and I was like, while we're there, we get a text from Tom's wife that says, "Lol, you and Claudio." And then I showed her the picture. He was just like funny laughing. He was like, yeah. I was like, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was proud he was disappointed. So I feel like
I hope he goes back to school and he's like, so my dad and his friend are like yelling at pro wrestlers. Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah. That's great. Love it. But yeah, hey, by the way, before we do wrap up, Halloween, what are you dressing up as?
Hold on, Liverpool chat he says I haven't watched WWE since 2014. Triple H said if you don't like it, don't watch, so I didn't.
Wow,
I mean,
good for you.
yeah,
that rules.
You got to avoid a lot of the shit that finally got us to be like, look, I don't think you understand how much we hated the Young Bucks. And so when we were like, all right, Jesus Christ, they're starting a wrestling show. I guess we'll see it's probably going to suck. We were like, it's probably going to suck. It's probably going to be terrible.
I'll let you in on a secret time. I was legitimately saying not my mission, but my hope was this is finally going to prove that the Young Bucks are not the best tag team, because my argument always used to be, who gives a fuck if you could do 45 minutes or 40, whatever you want, at a DMV in bumfuck California? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
who gives a but, and again, I still think they're an all-time great tag team, but when the Usos have 12 minutes, and that means 11 minutes,
12 minutes from curtain to curtain, you know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, you have to do it in that fucking time. So that was always my argument of like, get the fuck out of here telling me the Young Bucks are so great. They don't have the restraints of television. Now I have a lot of crow on my face because they have been doing that very well. And so, yeah. Again, I used to hate.
No, I remember, yeah, you were watching. I watched like the first couple episodes, and I was like, yeah, whatever. And then you kept watching through, and you kind of kept telling me, you're like, no, this is it. And I was like, yeah. I remember just watching WWE and like realizing I was fast forwarding through 97% of it, and I was like, well, fuck it, I'm gonna watch this then. Yeah, give it a shot. I'm just gonna watch for a couple of weeks religiously, just not, you know what I mean? Just let it happen. See what and
happens. Again, I want to go back and tell Tony or someone just like. But that's when you were creative. That's when you were taking these chances to keep the eyeballs. And not to say that wrestling obviously is the product, so you should be wrestling.
Yeah.
But you need to get out of your comfort zone sometimes.
To answer your earlier question, we didn't have a plan. We thought we were going to be driving after work up to Hastings, Nebraska, and watch my son play in a bowling tournament. But apparently everybody else hates Nebraska as much as I do because more than half the teams canceled, and so they had to cancel the whole meet.
Hell yeah.
Good. So I don't know what we're going to do for Halloween now. We got to figure it out on the fly. Maybe nothing. Great. Maybe just relax. We've been running, you know.
Are you dressing up?
No, well, we don't get trick-or-treaters, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but when was the last time you dressed up?
Oh, Jesus.
What were you?
I think that Halloween costume you came over to the fucking
when me and Emily were
you guys did Bob's Burgers.
Bob's Burgers,
like a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. We bought like a cheap costume. I don't know. Before that, it had been, I don't know, man. It's been decades since I seriously dressed up in a costume.
That's sad. We went to Boo at the Zoo. Well, go to Boo at the Zoo. We went with our two nieces, and I dressed up as a pool shark. So I wore a shark onesie, and then I had like a vest, and then a pool cue, and then a rack around my neck. And so I was a pool shark.
I would go to the zoo, but I'll say this. My wife, being such an animal lover, doesn't like the zoo because the animals are sad and just stuck in the cages. And I found that out more succinctly after I had planned a whole weekend trip to Omaha.
Yeah. I will say.
Turned out my big romantic gesture wasn't as romantic as I thought.
Yeah. I will say, the zoo.
No, it's a big zoo. Like the Omaha Zoo. But,
and there are certain animals where it's like, this is the fucking coolest shit in the world for them. Right. Exactly. But like.
No, we had a good time.
Yeah, but like for the polar bears, for the polar bears, the lions, the tigers, ones that, the ones that need a lot of space. I do feel for them. Actually,
but
the zoo also. Well, tomorrow's Game 6, so I'm watching Game 6, Dodgers, Blue Jays.
But I'm Shohei? Is that what you're doing?
No, I'm gonna be my shark again. I'm just gonna be a shark tomorrow, though. I'm just gonna wear my shark onesie. And that's what we're going to do. And then I'm going to watch Game 6, pass out some candy around here. We don't really pass out candy because our dogs will fucking kill you if you get too close.
Just leave the candy out there.
Yeah, we just leave the candy out there, and we usually have like a boo, the thing that like, a boo, and all that. And so, and all that.
Yeah. Yep.
And so.
No, we get nothing.
Yep.
Ain't nobody.
I know.
You. Single one. Not a one.
Yeah.
Nothing.
No. It's fucking. The whole night would just be to get to your fucking door from where they're at.
Yeah.
Like just
that's like nobody's walking, right? You'd have to specifically drive, and nobody does that. That's weird, right? Get out the car and go trick or treating.
No, fuck you. Yeah. So, all right, man. Well, that was it. Next week is not Blood and Guts, but it's coming up. And so we got that to look forward to as well.
Yeah, man, I'm excited. And we'll be back here next week. You will not be wearing that shirt next week, but in a few weeks you will be when we make some picks for Full Gear presented by DC. And I think the only other thing to say is...
Fuck down, try.
Oh, God, whoops.
Sorry.
Wrong one.
We'll see you next week, dumbass.